We're going to learn the second Sicha in Toldos and Chilek Chof, a very special and beautiful Sicha about the special Avodah of Yitzchak Avinu, the special Chidush of Avodah of Yitzchak Avinu, and how that's a special hero for everyone, say Yeshiva, and say Baalei Yesek, say people like Bachrim with their Inyan Limud Torah, primarily, and say people with their Inyan is primarily involved in the world, and how both of them get a special limud and hira and nesinas koyach from the Avodah of Yitzchak Avinu that's discussed in this week's parsha. Says Yedua de Maimer Chazal, Kol Ma She'ira La'ovis Simin Labonim. It's known what Chazal say that everything that happened to the Ovis is a simin, is a sign for the children. In other words, what happened to the Ovis is for Klal Yisrael a simin. The Ramban is Mairich Levair Bekama Maisa Ovis. The Ramban at length explains in a number of the Maisa Ovis, things that happened to the Ovis, Vize Hoben in sich Simonim Leramez Ev di Mu'urois was weln treffen mit Dibonim mit Iden. The Ramban explains about a number of the things that happen with the Ovis, how they have simonim that are merames, that they hint to things that are going to happen with their children, which is Klal Yisrael. Vibal di Chazal bringen areis dem inyan dafke beloshen Ovis ubonim, being that Chazal bring out the inyan specifically with the words of Ovis, parents and children. Was the inyoni ha'av veren ibergegeben b'Yerusha lebonov acharov. The things of a parent are given over to Yerusha, an inheritance to the children that come afterward. Is move on, as the Maisa Ovis is nit stam a simin ba'alma, noreich an nesinas koyach von the Ovis ha'umot zu dibon. This is something that the Rebbe said many, many times. That even though the typical lashon that everyone says is Maisa Ovis simin labonim, which might sound like being that the Ovis did it, it's just a sign for something that's going to happen. The Rebbe says it's a lot more than a sign, it's a nesinas koyach. It gives the koyach that the Banim should be able to do that as well. As the Rebbe says here, being that the lashon that they use is parents and children, so parents are not just a sign for the children, parents give over Yerusha to the children. So when the Ovis did these things, they gave over koyches to the children, to Klal Yisrael, to do this, to be able to do these things later throughout the generations. This how this relates to our parsha. The Torah says, as Vayihi Rov Ba'aretz, that there was a hunger in Eretz Yisrael, and as B'shayches mit dem, being that there was a hunger, hat der Eibishter sich bewiesen zu Yitzchaken, und ihm angesagt, al tered Mitzrayma, Schein Ba'aretz asher Eimar Elecha, Gur Ba'aretz Hazeis, ve'eh Yeimach, Mcho Vavoracheka. There was a hunger in Eretz Yisrael, and the Eibishter appears to Yitzchak, and he says, don't go down to Mitzrayim. Rather, you stay in Eretz Yisrael, you live in Eretz Yisrael, and I'll be with you and I'll bless you here, I'll bench you here. Zayin Chazal Masbir, so Chazal explained in Medrash, as Vibal, there is given an Elot Mima. Being that Yitzchak Avinu was an Elot Mima, he's brought on the korban, brought on the Mizbeach as a korban by the story of the Akedah. Therefore, bleiben in Eretz Yisrael, und ein Chutza La'aretz kedai lecha. That Chutz La'aretz is not outside of Eretz Yisrael, is not a place that you can go. Erzol niton vi ovi Avram, you shouldn't do like his father Avram did. Wenn es ist geworden a Rov, is areis from Eretz Yisrael, kein Chutz La'aretz, kein Mitzrayim. Avram Avinu Taka, when there was a hunger, did go out of Eretz Yisrael. He went to Mitzrayim. But being that Yitzchak is an Elah Tamima, being that he's a korban, so he's not allowed to go out of Eretz Yisrael like his father did. That's the story from the parsha. But the Simin Labonim is the Klor Eich Eben Uf. So here we have the Simin Labonim, the sign for the children is very clear, easily clear. As der emes Ort von Eden is nicht in Golus. B'chutz La'aretz, the emes, the true place where Yid belongs, is not in Golus, outside of Eretz Yisrael, nor when sie seinen al Shulchan Avihem. The place where Yid belongs is Lashon Chazal, and the Shulchan Avihim is Lashon Gemara, by the table of their father. Shegoy alom u'miviyam, that the Eibishter redeems us and brings us l'shulchani, to his table, so to speak, L'Eretz Yisrael. Und der Riber afilu in dem Zman wenn mipnei chateinu galina marseinu. So even nowadays when we're not in Eretz Yisrael, because as we say in davening, because of our averis, we were taken out of Eretz Yisrael, and we're called bonim shegolu mial shulchan avim. We're like children who went to Golus, and they're not anymore by the father's table. Kennen Eden nicht sein zufrieden chas v'shal. So Eden can't be happy with that situation. And afilu nicht sein ruhig, even not to be just how do you say, ruhig is comfortable in Golus. Wissen dich, as das is nicht der Matziv, in welchen sie darfen sein. A Yid has to know this is not the Matziv where he belongs, so he's not comfortable here. Nor sie hoffen und beten, they hope and they ask, zu umkehren sich al idei aviyah, to be returned to their father, the Eibishter obviously, l'shulchan avim, to the table of our father in Eretz Yisrael. To the extent that we ask and we demand it 3 times every day during the weekdays, and davening Yishman Esrei, Semach David Avdoch Amir Satzmiach, to bring Mashiach, and B'chol Yom, Eich B'Shabbos V'Yom Tov. So Semach David is during the weekdays, and every day, even Shabbos V'Yom Tov, we daven V'Sechazena Inenu B'Shuv Cholatzin B'Rachim. That we ask Hashem that we should be able to see quickly how Hashem comes back to Tzion B'Rachim, to Eretz Yisrael, to Yerushalayim B'Rachim. So this is, the Rebbe says, the first hero, that Yitzchak Avinu was told, you belong in Eretz Yisrael, you're an Elot Mima, you're not allowed to go out of Eretz Yisrael. What's the Simel Abonim, that a Yid belongs in Eretz Yisrael? So even when we're not in Eretz Yisrael, we're not happy where we are, we ask continuously every day to the Eibishter, we don't belong here, we want to go back to Eretz Yisrael. V'yeshleimar, as dos is einer von die Taimim, was leosid lovi, vet men zogen li Yitzchak dafke kiato Avinu. The Rebbe says that this could be one of the reasons why it says when Mashiach comes, we're going to have a special connection with Yitzchak Avinu. The Gemara says, it brings on Pasuk, that even though of course we have a shaykhis to all our ovis, but when Mashiach comes, we'll say to Yitzchak Ki'at Avinu, you're the special of. What's Mashiach connected after with Yitzchak? Varum demolt verba'iden sich onzen bigolui, di mailas hatmimus v'shleimus. That's when it will be seen by us in a revealed way, the completeness, the wholeness, like Yitzchak was an Elot Tamima, was der Keach of the roof, nemen ze von Yitzchak Avinu Elot Tamima. The Keach for being so b'shleimus, like a carbon we get from Yitzchak, und der Far gefinnen sie sich bim Kemel Ma'amiti Shulchan Avim in Eretz Yisrael. When Mashiach will come, we'll be in the right place, we'll be by our father's table. Was der Inyan, so sein blaze in Eretz Yisrael, this Inyan to be only in Eretz Yisrael is given Dafke by Yitzchak, was Dafke by Yitzchak, Mashenkim by Avraham and Yitzchak, seinen given Zmanim, when sie haben sich gefunden in Chutz La'aretz, Avraham and Yitzchak, there were times when they were in Chutz La'aretz. That's the end of Sif Aleph. So the Nekuda of Sif Aleph, a very simple Nekuda, that what's the Maisa of a similar abundance that we have in the simplest way from Yitzchak Avinu, is that Yitzchak was told his place is Eretz Yisrael, he's an Eilah, he's holy, he's Kodesh, and he can't go out of Eretz Yisrael. And the Hira, the Simen and the Nesineskach for us, is that we also, a Yid has to know that we belong in a matzav of Geula and a matzav of Eretz Yisrael, and we're unhappy when we're outside of Eretz Yisrael. And when Mashiach will come, we'll relate fully to Yitzchak, who was the one who represented that Inyan. Says the Rebbe weiter. This that we say, that Chazal say that our ovis are the 3 ovis, they're the one who are called ovis. And that's a constant thing, a present thing. It's everlasting, is move on as protim from Maisa ovis. That details about the Maisa ovis, the things that happen with our ovis, especially general details. Those types of things that they tell us exactly the special inyan, the specialty of each one of the others is a siman and a sinaskeach leboni, is a sign and a sinaskeach giving us keach to the children, nitner lechlolus am Yisrael, not only to the general am Yisrael ubematzav mesuyim in specific situations, nor bechol deir vadeir bechol odam Yisrael bifrat. That in every generation, to every individual Yid, in other words, the Hira from Eis Aleph was that we belong in Eretz Yisrael, which will be B'Shleimus when Mashiach will come. The question is, or not the question, the addition now is going to be, how does that relate to us, even when Mashiach is not here yet? So now we're in Golus, we're outside of Eretz Yisrael. So L'chura, the Yitzchak is not applicable. Yitzchak is Eretz Yisrael, Yitzchak is an Elot Mimah, we're outside of Eretz Yisrael. So the first point was, okay, so we want to go back to Eretz Yisrael. We belong in Eretz Yisrael. Good point. Now the shaila is, how does that relate to us while we're still in Golus? How is the avodah of Yitzchak and Nesinas Keach and a siman for us, even in this man when we're still in Golus, before our wish and our yearning comes true to be back in Eretz Yisrael? We could say the beer the following. Eden seinen Bechlolus voneinander geteilt in 2 Sugim. In general, Klal Yisrael are divided into 2 different types. Yisachar and Zvulun. Those who are connected to the Shevet Yisachar and those Zvulun, which are Mori Teira and Mori Uvdin Tovin. Those that their inyan is Limudat Teira, learning Teira, and those who their inyan is Ma'aseh Mitzvahs. As is well known, that Yisachar, their main inyan was Limudat Teira, and Zvulun was more into business, more involved in the world and mitzvahs and so on. Eden vazeyer ikir esek b'avedas Hashem is bifnim. There's the Eden that their main esek is Inside. Inside means, like the pasuk says, Yisachar be'halecha. Yisachar, that they were in the tents. Zizayin b'mkeimum ha'amiti, they find themselves in their real place. And ganz and iber gegeben zu limudat Torah, totally given over to learning Torah. That's one type of Yidden. Yeah, they're called Yeshvei Eyel, Avraham and Yeshivas, people that their Indian is learning Torah. On Eden, then there's Eden, Bali Esak, there's people who have business people, most people. Their avoid, they have to go out of the 4 amos of Torah. As the pasuk says, Zvulun bitzei secha, that the Zvulun Taka is not inside, they go out. When Hob and Suton mitinyon elam, they're involved with worldly things, masecha, like the Nosson called masecha l'shem shamayim. It's not ruchnistic meisim, it's meisecha, human meisim. Und drachecha, from the pasuk b'chol drachecha da'eu, your ways. And it's not things that, not ways that are really kedushitic ways on their own. Being that they do their meisim l'shem shamayim, and they're in their drochim, in their ways, da'eu, they know Hashem, bringing ze'aran kedusha eichin in yoni ha'elam. They bring kedusha into worldly things as well. So that's the 2 types of Yidden. Those that their Indian is to remain inside, like Yisachar in the tent and learn Torah. And those that their Indian is to go outside, get involved in their meisim and their drochim and bring kedusha into the world. Those are these 2 types of Aveda, was der Koyach zu durchführen sie, bekommt jeder Yid von den Yavis. These 2 types of Aveda, the Koyach for us to accomplish this, we get through the Avis, again based on Maisa Avis Similabon. Where do we find that in the Avis? Says the Rabbi, that's Avraham and Yitzchak. Avraham Avinu is a race from Eretz Yisrael, and a Rab geniedert in Mitzrayim. Avraham Avinu went out of Eretz Yisrael and went down to Mitzrayim. In Mitzorim or Gvulim von Chutz La'aretz, which is the Mitzorim is the boundaries, the narrow boundaries of Chutz outside of Eretz Yisrael. When not Bavidos you've gotten through his Avedi accomplished, as dort unal derech ze noch farder, that there outside of Eretz Yisrael, and also even before he went out, sollen Menschen anerkennen und dienen dem Ebersten, that Yidden should recognize and serve the Eberster. Hat sie gebracht tachas kanfei hashchina. Avraham was bringing people under the kanfei, under the wings of the Shechina. K'mishakos, as the pasuk says, v'sanefesh asher osu b'choron. That when Avraham and Sarah come, they come together with the people that they made, which means the people that they brought to the Eberster. As explained and told over at length in Midrash, that Klolus Avidose is given, that the general Aved of Avraham is given, like the pasuk says, Vayikra Shom b'Shem Hashem Keil Elam, that Avraham called out wherever he was in the name of Hashem, that Hashem is the master of the world, the Eibishter of the world. V'de Chazal, Zogen like Chazal say, the Rebbe brings from Midrashim and Gemara, as he started telling the people, the nation, it's only worthy to serve the Eibishter. To call out with a loud voice to the entire world, to let them know that there's one Eibishter, and he is the one who is worthy to serve. He would go and call and gather the nation me'ir le'ir, from city to city, from kingdom to kingdom. As it says that he called out, etc. To the extent that he affected that the Eibishter should be Nesif if Lekutei Shamayim. And before Abraham's Aveda, Hashem was called Lekutei Shamayim. He was the Eibishter of the heavens, because in the heavens he was known, in the heavens he was served. But Avraham Avinu affected that he should also be Elekei Ha'oretz, the Eibishter of this earth. Shehir Galtiv B'fi Abrius, that Avraham made the Eibishter's name something common in the mouths of people. In other words, Bekitzer, Avraham Avinu's Aveda was going out of the place of Kedusha and affecting the world and bringing the world to Kedusha. Yitzchak is aber nitaris in Chutz La'aretz. Yitzchak is the opposite type of Aveda. He never left Eretz Yisrael. Vaad, the Rabbi, to the contrary, Hayes is given an Eilot Tmima, because he was an Eilot Tmima, like we said, he was a carbon. Hat gedarft, gemust bleiben in Eretz Yisrael. He must stay in Eretz Yisrael. Und dort gefindt man nicht viel, als soll risgin mim kemeha proti und vernehmen sich mit anderen Bachutz. Even while in Eretz Yisrael, we don't find too much that he left his place to be involved with others. Something outside of his own inyon. V'hainu, as Iker Seider Avidose is given bifnim. Comes out that Yitzchak's main Avodah was within. And that's a very stark difference. Avraham Avinu's Avodah was going out and calling out and talking and being mefarsim, publicizing Elikus. And Yitzchak's Avodah was to remain within and do his own personal Avodah. So now we understand the Maisa Ovis, Simila Bonim, and a Pashat away from these two Ovis. That from they come the two above mentioned types of Avodah. Von Avraham Avinu haben jeder und alle Iden Dehira und Sinaskeach if der Avodah mitten Zulas. Mi bachutz. Avraham Avinu gives every Yid the teaching and the keiches to do the Avodah with others outside. Alle Iden, all Iden. Die was Iker Iskom is bifnim limud Torah. Even those Yidden who their main inyan is inside and learning Torah, what we call before the Yeshvi Eil, or the Yisachar Yidden. Also, they from time to time should go out of their place and bring kedusha michutz legvul mekem hakdusha. Every Yid has to learn from Avraham Avinu. In other words, even a Yitzchak type Yid, even a Yisachar Yid, a Torah Yid, from time to time has to do the Avodah of Avraham Avinu to go out of his place and bring kedusha outside. To publicize the name of the Eibusher in every place, to the extent to create people, like I said by Avraham, he made people. To Mikarev Eden to the Eibusher and to the Eibusher's Torah. Chazal say, that Chazal say in a negative way, a person who says, I'm only Esik in Torah, that's negative, because even a person who Ikir in Yonah is to be Esik in Torah, has to also be involved in other in Yonah. Like here we're saying, the need of being going out and being mefarsim Elikus. On Kol Eimer Ein Li Ela Torah, Afilu Torah Ein Li Ela Torah Gmilas Chasod. Person says, I only have Torah, says the Gemara, then no, even Torah he's missing, because you have to have Gmilas Chasodim, even if your main union is in Torah. So therefore, Avraham Avinu gives keach to every Yid, even the Baal Torah, that from time to time he has to leave his place and be mefarsim Elikus, publicize Elikus, and affect other Yid. Yitzchak gives the opposite keach. Yitzchak Avinu nimmt jeder Yid die Hero und dem keach in Aveda bifnim. Yitzchak Avinu, on the other hand, from him every Yid takes the teaching and the keach in the Aveda to do inside. Meaning, as eich die was iker iskom is bechutz. Even those Yidden that their main esek, their main involvement is outside. In other words, to be involved in worldly things and durch den mamshech sein kedusha in inyonei ha'elam masecho d'rachecha. The Yid whose main avodah is to be involved in the worldly and therefore to bring kedusha into the worldly. Bringen dvar Hashem eich zu Yidden was seinen leis ater rechekim Hashem etirose. They are involved in bringing the word of Hashem to Yidden that are meanwhile far from Hashem and Torah. Darfen eich ze von Zeit zu Zeit sich absondern von dem Chutz, even they from time to time have to separate themselves from the outside. Und eisig sein bifnim b'Torah, and to be involved inside in learning Torah, und be'efen in a way as demol tamazenit kein shum daigis. At that time they totally have no concerns and no worries, ke'eich lehaman. Like it says that when could people learn Torah properly? When they were in the midbar and they ate man, they had no concerns of the world. Kein shum andre machshavas, that when a person learns Torah, he should not have any other machshavas, any thoughts of what's going outside. In dem zman darf bei ze sein teirasum Nosson. In that time when they're learning Torah, it has to be like teirasum Nosson. His whole asik, his whole involvement, his whole business, his whole work is only Torah. So that's big, very, very big kitzur the of Eis Beis. In addition to Eis Aleph, that Bechlal Yitzchak represents a place of Kedusha and a time of Kedusha, like Mashiach. And that's what we want, even where we are, where every Yid is at every time. Avraham and Yitzchak give Yidden two types of Keach. Avraham gives every Yid the teaching and the Keach to go out and be Mefarsim Elikus in the world, whatever the Yid's main Avodah is, and Yitzchak gives every Yid the teaching and the Keach to spend time bifnim, learning Torah and being totally involved in Kedusha, no matter what this person's main Avodah is. This is the Maisa Ovis from Avraham and Yitzchak to every single Yid at every single time. Eis Gimel. Shen Geret Kama Po'amim. Now the Rebbe takes off on a whole new inyan. Hemshech, but a whole new shlav. We spoke a number of times, talking about the names of the seders. Azaf pivas bepashtus is their nomen from yeder sedre al shem ha'haschola. Even though bepashtus, on a simple level, you ask a person why do parshas have a certain name? Because it's named after the beginning, the first words of the parsha. Aber vibal ze seinen nemen al pi mini Yisrael Teira, being that it's taka true in a sense, yeah, that the parsha, the name of the parsha is always one of the first words of the parsha. Nevertheless, being that these are names that are called of these parshas, the mini Yisrael, which mini Yisrael Teira is to call these names. Ubefrat al pi Teira sabal shem tev as shmei asher yikru ulei b'loshen hakedesh is mehave u'mechaye u'mekayim dem dover hanikra b'shem zeh. Especially according to what Baal Shem Tov teaches, that the name of something in Lashon Kodesh is not stamazeh, it's not arbitrary, but the name is actually what gives the chayis and gives the existence and gives the kiyum of the particular thing that's called with that name. Is moving, so it's understood as der nomen von jeder sedre bringt reis dem Teichen von der ganzen sedre. A general hero, something that the Rebbe said so many times, that the name of a sedre, being that minig Yisrael, that's the name of the sedre. So it gives over, it's not just because it happens to be one of the first words, but it gives over a general message, a general inyan that's negeh, that this whole sedra, this name gives out the inyan of this whole sedra. This is in addition to the fact that that's the emes, because that's the name, and a name shows in the inyan. The Rebbe says there's a clear raya to this, and grad from this week's sedra mamash. Raya muchachas evdem is der fun, was davke unser sedra wer gerufen b'shem Toldos. This week's parsha is called Toldos. So everyone says, why? Because one of the first words is Toldos. Beis, as eich Parshas Neach, feint sich an mit die Wörter Ele Toldos Neach. Taka, this week's parsha starts with the word Toldos. But there was an earlier parsha that started with the word Toldos. Neach, Ele Toldos Neach. So, Eib, die Shemis HaSedris wollten gewinnen nor mitzad hascholosom. If the names of Sedris would only be because of the fact that that's one of the first words, Volt mer massim given as the frier dike sedre neach soll tragen in dem Namen Toldos. Hey yes, the word Toldos is nentert as scholas a sedre wie der word neach. Und die sedre shalachareha, unser sedre Toldos soll angerufen werden Yitzchak. Bechdei zu machen an Unterschied zwischen ihr und der sedre shalafaneh. In other words, there's Eila Toldos neach and there's Eila Toldos Yitzchak. So if the problem is you both can't have the same name, so therefore one has to have one or the other. So the first one is Neach should have been called Toldos, because there it says Ela Toldos, Neach Toldos is the first word. And our Seder, which is a few parshas later, should have said Ela Toldos Yitzchak, should have been called Yitzchak. And it's not that way. Der Fun was die erste Seder heißt mit Namen Neach. Und dafke unser Seder wird angerufen mit Namen Toldos. From the fact that it's the opposite. And the first one is called Neach. And then this one is called Toldos, is Muchach, that proves, as das is der Fall, was der Nomen Neach, nicht Toldos, direkt is dem Teichen von der frierdike Sedre. Und der Wort Toldos bringt is dem Teichen von der Sedre. That's not the reason. Because Neach is really the name that expresses that Sedre, and Toldos is the name that expresses this Sedre. So therefore, even though if you look only based on the wording, so that one should have been called Toldos, but no, that's called Neach. So this is a proof to this concept that the Rebbe said in Legabe so many parshas, that the name is not only because it happens to be one of the first words, but much deeper than that, the name shows on the Teichen of the Sedre. V'hainu, as der Teichen kloli von der Sedre is reading von Toldos. Comes out Ebazei, now that we've proven that the name of a Sedra is not arbitrary, but rather that the name shows on the Teichen of this Sedra. So if this Sedra is called Toldos, that means that we have to understand that the general concept of this Sedra is Toldos, which means children. Hilodas boni. What's the hero of Bezeh Beruchnius is? What's the general hero of a Sedra named children? As yet der Eid darf efton dem Inin von Toldos Beruchnius. That every person has to be involved in creating children in a ruchnistic way, which means that there should be added another yid, who that yid is going to be shemer, is going to be up from a yid, he's going to keep Torah mitzvahs durch mekarev zayin im laHashem lo through being mekarev the siyat Hashem and Torah. Okay, as it says, as the Gemara says, kol hamilamid ben chaveri Torah, everyone who teaches who teaches the child of his friend. Torah, Maila Lavakosav Kilu Yoldei. When you teach someone Torah, it's considered like you gave birth to that person. Vazdos is their inyan from Prur Vubave de Ruchnis. That's the inyan of having children in a ruchnistic way. So it comes out that the name Toldos, which means children, what's the general here of this parsha? That a Yid has to have children, that a Yid has to affect another Yid and bring him closer to Torah mitzvahs. This general hero is also hinted to in the Rashi in the beginning of the parsha as Toldos batzitzich to Yankiv ve'esav hamurim beparsha. When the pasuk says that these are the children of Yitzchak, says Rashi, Yankiv and Esav that are mentioned in the parsha. They say, what's the deeper hero from this Rashi? That Toldos Yitzchak, the children of Yitzchak, bashtain nit nor von azelcha v'zayin in the darga von Yankiv. One might think, who are Yitzchak's children? Yaakov is Yitzchak's child. Says the Rebbe now in Eis Dalid, and now we have a big question. If we put together what was said in Eis Aleph and Beis with Eis Gimel, there seems to be a contradiction. I'll just say the Nekuda and then we'll read it inside. In Eis Aleph and Beis we read that what's the union of Yitzchak? Yitzchak's whole union is that way the inside. Avraham represented outside, Avraham represented doing with others. But Yitzchak was giving us the kayach of inside, of learning Torah, and going into Eretz Yisrael and Snishrakim Welt. And now, in the last Eis Gimel, we learned that the whole name of Parshas Toldos, which is the parsha of Yitzchak, means having children, which means going outside. It seems it's the wrong name for this parsha, for this one of the others. That's the general question that's going to be asked in this Eis. Let's read it inside. According to all this, we need an explanation. How is this idea of the name Parshas Toldos, how does it fit? With this, that was explained earlier, as Teichin ve'efen avedis Yitzchak is given be'efen afochi. That the Teichin and the way of Yitzchak's Aveda was the opposite. Sein abgesunder, to be separated in Eretz Yisrael, to remain in Eretz Yisrael, farzich by himself, befnim inside, unit eivstellen Toldos bachutz. Seemingly Yitzchak's Aveda is not creating children outside. She'enam deimim la'ovis, which are not like the others. They're already a new thing that I'm creating. Through involvement with the one who's outside, the other person on the outside. More so. According to this, in other words, according to this, that Yitzchak's avodah is the inside avodah, the inner avodah, not going outside. So then this Sedra should not have been called Toldos. Gedar Fesen nit Toldos, nor Yitzchak. Berdei areis zu bringen Yichudei shel Yitzchak. Verkehrt. Dafke, this Sedra should not have been called children, it should be called Yitzchak, to bring out the specialty of Yitzchak. Was is Bashtanin, kenisker leel, Dafke nit areis gen l'chutz loretz, zu eivstellen dort Toldos. Yitzchak Aved is Dafke not to go outside, not to make Toldos. Nefoshes, new people, the Avedas Avraham, as a nefesh rosu b'choron, kenisker leel, like the Aveda Avraham, which was taken to go outside and make new nefoshes in choron. So there's a real seeming contradiction. Is Yitzchak's Aveda inside? Or is Yitzchak's Aveda Toldos? So therefore the Rebbe says we must say a whole new derher. Bald as Yitzchak is einer von the Gimel Oves. Yitzchak is called an Av. What does an Av mean? If the aim of Yitzchak is just to be inside and learn Torah, be a tzaddik, then he's a tzaddik. He's a tzaddik, he's a kodesh, he's a tohir. An Av means someone who has children. That if you don't have children, you're not a father. Yitzchak is not a person for himself that should be separated in his own avodah. He's an Av. Un ovis miklal diika tulis lashna gemara. If there's an Av, if something is called an Av, that means that there's tulis, that there's children. Von ovis lernt men up vert tildus. From parents, we learn and there is children. Is move on as ich sein aveda is given and ufstellen tildus. Notice, the Rebbe is taking now a new approach. Not like we learned the first Chilek of the Sicha. Yitzchak's message to us is to be separate, not to be involved, not to affect. No. Yitzchak is an Av. An Av means someone who has children. So even though Yitzchak's Avodah is, as we said, that he remained in Eretz Yisrael, and he learned Torah, and he didn't go around, etc., etc., somehow that Avodah is also a part of creating Toldos. Is Muvan Azech, Zayin Avodah is given in Aufstellen Toldos. Noch mehr. More than that. Not only Yitzchak's Avodah also has an union of Toldos. Von dem was dafke die Sedre was retten ganzen wegen Avodas Yitzchak. Hebt sich on. Und wird angerufen Toldos, nicht die andere Sedres, was redt sich in Yoni Avraham and Yitzchak. From the fact that which Sedre is called Toldos children? Dafke Yitzchak's. Avram's Sedres aren't called Toldos. Yaakov's Sedres aren't called Toldos. Is Muchach, as Ikerin in Toldos, is Dafke Avodas Yitzchak. Noch mehr, B'alidei Avodas Avraham and Yitzchak. Not only is the Rebbe not going to be mechadish, that Yitzchak's Avodah also affects Toldos, also creates Toldos. Sagt the Rebbe noch mehr. Dafke Yitzchak's parsha is called Toldos. That means there's something about Yitzchak's Avodah, the Avodah of Pnim, the Avodah of Yisachar, the Avodah of Eretz Yisrael, the Dafke that makes Toldos in a way more than Avraham and Yitzchak even. How is that possible? Says the Rebbe Hey, that men das verstehen will understand this. Hekt im Habiur in Eifen han Hogel osid love. The first, through prefacing the beer, the explanation, in an Hogel that's going to be when Mashiach will come. Was der Fun wird ich sein Moven bin Avodas Yitzchak. From understanding how it's going to be when Mashiach will come, we'll also understand how David of Yitzchak is. Ukanal Seif Sif Aleph, as we learned earlier in the Sikh, and the end of Sif Aleph, as La'osid Lavi Yemir Yitzchak Yata Avinu. We said in the beginning that Yitzchak has a special connection with the days of Mashiach, as he explained then. Yitzchak represents Eretz Yisrael, Kedusha, Tmimus, and that will be when Mashiach will come. So by now exploring and understanding our Avodah when Mashiach will come, we'll understand also what's the special avodah of Yitzchak and what he teaches each and every one of us. The Rambam Paskins, and then close to the end of Sefer Rambam, Tziva Moshe Mipiag Vura, the Moshe Rabbeinu commanded us in the name of the Eibush, from the Eibishter, Lokuf es kol boi ha'elam lekabil mitzvahs shenestavu b'nei neach, that we have to force all people from the world to accept upon them the mitzvahs that the Eibishter commanded b'nei neach. The Sheva Mitzvahs b'nei neach that all mankind is obligated to. Was die halacha is vi al inyoni halacha an inyan nitzchi bechol hazmanim bechol hamekemus. This halacha, like every inyan halacha, is everlasting and is applicable in every place and in every time. As the anhoga haretsuya inem eifen kiyum hamitzvahs fun kol boi ha'elam Sheva Mitzvahs b'nei neach is wenn das wird uv ze gepeil durchid. In other words, this is explained in other places more barichas, but in other words, that it's not enough that a goy just does the Sheva Mitzvah b'nei neach. The appropriate way, the ultimate way that a goy can do Sheva Mitzvah b'nei neach is if he does it because Yidden affected him to do it. Yidden were pale on him to do it. So according to this, we have to understand how is this job of Yidden, their job of in relation to Zayin Mitzvahs, of affecting Goyim to do Sheva Mitzvahs, durchgeführt werden bis man die Losid Love bewies Mashiach Sidkein. How are we Yidden going to be involved in affecting the world to do Sheva Mitzvah when Mashiach comes? The Rambam Fir Take Eis. The Rambam Take says, Sevishin dinyonim nailim vos Mashiach vet efton, that amongst the special things that Mashiach is going to accomplish, vet zayin, v'yisakin es ha'elam kulei labid es Hashem biyachad. The Mashiach will correct the entire world to serve the Eibusha together. Shnemer, as the Pasuk says, Ki oz efichel amim sofa brura, likre kulam b'shem Hashem u'li'ovdi shechem echad. That then when Mashiach will come, Hashem will bring to the whole world, all the nations, a clear tongue that all will call out to Hashem together. So Taka Mashiach is going to bring the whole world to serve the Eibusha. The shaila is over. The question is, Vibal das alle Eden veln eskeles veren von Golos amim, being that all Eden are going to be redeemed from the Golos within the nations. Veln sich gefinin alad Mosam and Eretz Yisrael. One of the basic in Yom of Mashiach, one of the real basics is the kibbutz golis, that Eden wherever they will be, we're going to be gathered and go to Eretz Yisrael. So all Yidden, practically, when Mashiach comes, are going to be in Eretz Yisrael. Und der Din is, as bisman sheyad Yisrael takifo, the halacha is that when Yidden are in charge of Eretz Yisrael, when they have the takif, when they have the melucha in Eretz Yisrael, is Sa'elam, sollen sein afilu yeshiv yeshivas aray, und ever mimokim lemokim bischera, in order that Goyim should live in Eretz Yisrael even in a temporary way, or even just to pass through in business, dar sein frier sheikabel av sheva mitzvahs. So, practically speaking, all Yidden are going to be in Eretz Yisrael. In order for a Goy to show up in Eretz Yisrael, he has to already have accepted upon himself the Sheva mitzvahs. Is wie wird es sein, as Eden sein mechadish by the Yumis, by Boy Elam, magni sein mitzvahs b'nei Neach? The Rebbe is asking a practical question. We're going to be in Eretz Yisrael. If a guy shows up in Eretz Yisrael, he already was mekabel Sheva mitzvahs b'nei Neach, otherwise we wouldn't let him into the land. So if there's a guy in China, or if there's a guy in America, there's a guy in Russia, and that guy is not mekabel Sheva mitzvahs, how are we going to affect him? He's there and we're here. We were escalated. We left Chutz La'aretz in Eretz Yisrael. And again, he can't come to Eretz Yisrael that we should teach him, because we're not going to let him in unless he was already taught, unless he already accepted it. So in a very practical way, asks the Rebbe, how is it possible? Though Mashiach comes, we're going to be able to do our avodah, which is to teach the world Sheva mitzvah b'nei Neach, to affect the world to accept Sheva mitzvah b'nei Neach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akelni b'dvarim. Is das move on from the psukim in Yeshayahu b'nigeh der Geula. So the answer of this question can be understood from the psukim in the Novi Yeshaya about the Geula. The Novi says over there, "V'ho yabachar isayomim will be at the end of the days noch in Yehar Beis Hashem Bereish Hahorim." The Beis Hamikdash will be in its place on the top of the mountain where it belongs. V'nohar ruilov kol hagoyim. That all the goyim, all the nations will flock to the Beis Hamikdash. V'holchu amim rabim, and many nations will go. V'yomru, and they'll say, "Luchu v'nala, let us come and go. El har Hashem, el Beis Elekei Yankev, let's go to the house of the Eibishter. V'yiranu midrochav, v'neilcha b'erechesav, and the Eibishter will teach us his ways, his paths, and we'll go in his ways. Ki mitzion teitze Torah, because from Tzion, from Yerushalayim, will come out Torah." Pasuk goes on, "V'shofar bin hagoyim gamer," that then will judge the goyim. V'chitasu charbesam gamer. The swords will be. They'll break the swords. Beis Yankiv l'chuvanecha beir Hashem. The goyim will say that the Yidden should go, and will go with them beir Hashem. In other words, what comes out from all these psukim? The Rebbe teaches das heißt, dos was liyosid lo v'veln eich u'masa'elam lernen di darkei avayim. This, that when Mashiach will come, so the Goyim also will learn the ways of the Eibishter, and Din in the Eibishter will serve the Eibishter. That nit kumen durch dem was Eden will na rausgehen von Arzam HaKadosh Lechutz La'aretz zu die Goyim v'Amim. Bichdei das zu peil sein bei sei. This, that when Mashiach will come, the nations of the world will serve the Eibishter, will not be through that we will leave Eretz Yisrael to go teach them. Nor heyes as their mind medub matzeh von Eden. Being that the situation of Yidden, Eretz Yisrael, Beis Hamikdash, v'dem bald sein betachlis hamayla v'ashleimus. The situation of Yidden and the Eretz Yisrael and the Beis Hamikdash will be in the ultimate shleimus, in the ultimate complete form. Der Eir Hashem ved dort leichten begilu liyin kol chai. The Eir, the light of the Eibishter, will veer shine in a revealed way to the eye of every living being. Ved das bederech memele. Peil zayin ev goyim v'yamim rabim shebechol ha'elam. So this will automatically affect the goyim and the nations of the whole world. Bizas v'noar ruilov kol hagoyim, that they'll flock. All the nations will come in big groups. V'holchu amim rabim, and many nations will go v'yomru l'chu v'nayla el har Hashem v'yiranu medrochav gamer. So here is the nukud of the answer, that there is the normal way that we think when we're affecting someone, that we go to him in order to affect him. But when Mashiach will come, it will happen in an opposite way. We're going to have such a state of Shleimus HaKadosh in Eretz Yisrael that all of the nations, wherever they are, will be drawn to come to Eretz Yisrael to learn and be affected by that Kedusha. Komteis comes out as Lios, Elovi Vel Eden, Nid darf na Rizgin Lechutz. Zu vernehmen sich mit kol boi ha'elam. Comes out that when Mashiach will come, Yidden will not need to go out of Eretz Yisrael to be involved with the people of the world, nor ze veln sein pnuyin b'teira v'chachmasa. Rather, Yidden don't have to go anywhere. They'll be involved in learning Teira and the Chachmas HaTeira. As the Rambam writes, Yisrael Chachomim Gdeilim V'Yedun Dvorim Mastumim V'Yasigu Das Beirim K'Vikech Odom. The Yidden will be tremendous Chachomim. They'll know the hidden things and know and be able to understand the Das of the Eibush as much as a person can understand. So the involvement of Yid is actually going to be in Torah and Chachma. Und von deswegen nevertheless wollen Yidden Mashpia sein if the Umas. The Yidden will affect the Umas, the nations, as they allein wollen der weckt werden. That they will be awakened as v'holchu und sagen l'chuvanelcha bir Hashem, that the Goyim will be affected on their own to come and learn from the Yidden. That's the big chiddush of the way it will be Mashiach will come. That our effect on the world will not be through going out to the world, but for we're going to be involved in kedusha, only in kedusha and Torah and Chochma and Eretz Yisrael, and the world will be inspired and affected by that to come and learn from Klal Yisrael. And that's the answer. How are we going to affect Sheva Mitzvah when Mashiach will come if we're inside? Because through our Shleimus HaKdusha and Eretz Yisrael, they're going to come and be affected by us. Says the Rebbe Nizvov, now we come back to Yitzchak Avinu, we'll understand Yitzchak's Aveda as well. Takich, both in Yonah, they will learn the Sicha are true. Yitzchak's Aveda was Pnim. Yitzchak Aveda was not like Avraham. Yitzchak Aveda was Kedusha, was Eretz Yisrael, was Torah, was Yisachar, all is true. At the same time, Yitzchak had a tremendous effect on Toldos, on creating on others, but not in the way of Avraham and Yankov of going out, but by creating such a Shleimus Dikei Kedusha that he's affecting others by them coming on their own, similar to what's going to be Lasud Loving. Let's read it inside. Yitzchak's Eifen von Eifstel until this is given, nicht durchgehen me'ir le'ir me'amolach me'amolach. Yitzchak's way of making children in Kedusha. It was not through Avram's way of going from city to city and from kingdom to kingdom, in order to publicize the name of Hashem in every place, v'Avram kanal Sicha Beis, like Avram's way was, as we said earlier. Rather, nor zayin dikif ein Ort in Eretz Yisrael hat zu sich zugezogen, die boy elam. Remaining in one place in Eretz Yisrael, he pulled to himself all the people of the world. Bedugmas v'anavuka gedela vasit zu sich die nitzitzes chulu. Similar to the idea of a big torch, that when you have a big torch, the torch becomes a power of that the small little sparks of fire gravitate to the big torch. The torch doesn't go to the sparks, the torch burns brightly, and the sparks gravitate to the torch. Und der Inyan wird Ares gebracht in Teichen, said this Inyan is actually brought out in the Teichen of this week's parsha. Where do we see this? Parshas hat sich geschaffen am Matzif von Vayhirav ba'oretz. When there was that hunger that came in Eretz Yisrael, is given daiti shal Yitzchak l'redes l'Mitzrayim k'mesh yored avi b'meharav. Yitzchak's das, his mind was, okay, I should also go down to Mitzrayim like my father went. The Rebbe explains what really was going on in Yitzchak's mind. Visendik dem iker shashos al Avram, knowing that this iker, the main thing that Avraham Avinu planted, as der Eibishter is der Manig ha'elam, on Firton mit kol advarim shebe'elam, that the Eibishter is the Manig, the Eibishter leads the world and is involved in everything, and leads everything that happens. Is von dem iker v'shos al Avram Aviv. From this inyan that Avraham Avinu implanted in all of us, that Hashem is in charge of everything, hat Yitzchak verstanden, daitei, as das ist b'ashkocha u'bekavone protis von dem Eibishten, as soll reisgehen von Eretz Yisrael in Chutz La'aretz, dort mefarsem und megala sein Shmei shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as Aviv Avraham hat getan bisman nei, wenn es ist gewann Arav Ba'aretz. In other words, the Rebbe is explaining this, that it says that there was a hunger, so Yitzchak thought, I'll go out like Avraham went out. It's deeper. Yitzchak realized there's a hunger. And he remembered that Avraham Avinu taught that Eibishter feared to everything. The Eibishter makes everything happen. So why did the Eibishter make a hunger? Probably because now the Avodah of Yitzchak is to do the same thing Avraham did, which is to affect the world. So just like Hashem made a hunger, so Avraham should go out and affect the world with Kedusha. So Yitzchak understood, now there's a hunger. It's time for me to go out and affect the world for Kedusha. If them hat him the Eibishter gesagt, and that Hashem told him, no, Al terid Mitzrayim, Shchein ba'aretz. Hashem said, no, you don't go out to Mitzrayim. You should rest in Eretz Yisrael. You should be in Eretz Yisrael. But Hashem didn't just mean something literal, just stay here and don't go there. Rather, Virazal Taichen, Shcheines HaShchina ba'aretz. Your Aveda of affecting the world is through bringing the Shechina in Eretz Yisrael. as sein Eifen und Avede von Megala sein Shmeshel HaKadosh Baruch Hu is nicht durch Arab Nidrin and Chutz La'aretz. Your way of revealing the Eibish's name is not through going to Chutz La'aretz. Bizin Mitzrayim Eretz Aretz, to the lowest places like Mitzrayim. Nor durch Shchenes HaShchina Ba'aretz. Through this that you're going to bring down the Shechina in Eretz Yisrael. When Aideze vet Shmeshel HaKadosh Baruch Hu ankumen zu kol ba'ayela. So this was going on between Yitzchak and Hashem. Yitzchak thought, okay, there's a rav, there's a hunger, so I should go do the avodah of bringing Eliyahu to the world. And Abraham says, you're right, you also have to do the avodah of bringing Kedusha to the world. But in the way of bringing it to Eretz Yisrael, and that will have effect on the entire world. And this is what's explained further in the parsha, in the continuation of the Inyan. Wegen dem Zman was Yitzchak is given in Gror, when Yitzchak was in Gror, which is part of Eretz Yisrael. Vayigdal ha'ish holich, vayelech holich v'godel at yigodal me'et. Yitzchak became greater and greater. Shayu oimrim, zevel pardeso shel Yitzchak v'likaspi v'zovi shel Avimelech. That everyone was sad that we want to be connected, that even the lowest part of Yitzchak's orchards is greater than the silver and gold of Avimelech. In other words, Yitzchak was in Eretz Yisrael, and nevertheless he was affecting that everyone was recognizing the greatness of Yitzchak Avinu. Ubimiyuchad, and especially is das Mudgish in em Hemshech von die Weite de Psukim. And it's especially, this ayyin comes out especially clearly in the continued Psukim. As früher hat Avimelech gesagt zu Yitzchak, lech me'imonu ki atzamto mimenu miyed. First, Avimelech told Yitzchak, leave us, because you became so big, you became so powerful, so Avimelech wanted Yitzchak to leave. Aber noch, then Yitzchak had dort gebet am Mizbeach and vayikra b'shem Hashem Gamer. But after Yitzchak built a Mizbeach and he called in the name of Hashem, etc., the Torah tells us, as Avimelech holach ilov migror. That Avimelech came from Gror together with his general Fichel, Avimelech comes with Fichel, and Yitzchak says, why do you come? You sent me away from here, why are you coming? So what do they say? So we said, let's make a shvuah, let's make a covenant between ourselves. So we see that Yitzchak Taka stayed where he was, and the Goyim came to him when they saw that the Eibusher was with him. Once he's move on. When the Goyim saw that the Eibusher is with you, to the extent that it awakened them to the point that Avimelech went to him, to go and to come to Yitzchak and to make with him a bris, a covenant. So obviously that affected on them, that their anhaga, their way of conducting themselves should be in the way of Yitzchak Avinu. So this is the answer that Yitzchak's Aveda is also all about Toldos. Because Yitzchak is an Av, and Av has told us, his Aveda was to say in Eretz Yisrael, his way of affecting Toldos was by creating a very powerful place of Kedusha that brings the Toldos to come to the person, to the Kedusha on their own. Like it will be when Mashiach will come, and like it was in the Aveda of Yitzchak in this week's parsha. So this really explains why Yitzchak is also the one who makes Toldos. What we still have to understand is, the Rebbe said earlier, that Dafki Yitzchak makes Toldos. That we didn't explain yet. Okay, we explained Yitzchak also as a way of making Toldos. But why is Yitzchak more Toldos than Avraham and Yitzchak? On that, the Rebbe comes in Ezayin and gives a beautiful beer. Alpi says, move on, was dafke die Sedre, wo es retzich wegen Avedes Yitzchak, wird ungerufen b'shem Toldos. Und nicht die Sedre, wo es retzich wegen Avedes Avraham and Yitzchak. Now we'll understand why dafke this Sedre is called Toldos, even more so, and not like the other Sedres of Avraham and Yitzchak that aren't called Toldos. B'shas di Avedes b'yefen as men nidert arop. When a person's avodah is in a way that he lowers himself and affects outside of the boundaries of Kedusha, similar to the Avodah of Avraham, who leaves Eretz Yisrael, he goes to Mitzrayim, and there he's mefarsim Eliyahu, there he publicizes Hashem. Demult is nit mudgash, as they feel, as does seine Toldos. Then it's not as emphasized that the ones who he's affecting are his children. Einochinami as dos nefesh asher osu, seine anasie, aber nicht hilu yolde Toldos. I want to say very big kitzer. There is, Avraham Avinu affected people. It says, "Hanefesh asher asu," he made people. Yitzchak says that children has told us, children. What's the difference between making people and children? A child is someone that's very similar to the father. You see, he's the father's child. And I make someone making another person. It could be, I made him, but it could be a different type of person. It doesn't have to be so similar to the one who makes him. Says the Rebbe, that's the difference. When you're going down to their place like Avraham and you're making people, so you're not being yourself, you're leaving your place. If you're not being yourself, you're leaving your place. So when you're making him, he's not going to look exactly like you, because you didn't either look like you when you were making him. You left your place. So you're going to make him Hanefesh asher osu, but it won't be evident that it's Toldos. Mashiach, when you're affecting people by remaining who you are, not leaving your place, not going down Yitzchak Avinu's way, and the person comes to you, then that person is going to look like you. That person is going to be clear how he's yours, and that's a child. That's Toldos. That's a dafke by Yitzchak. It's Toldos. It's children, not just people he affected, but people who became like his children because he never left his own madrege, his own matzev. Let's see inside. Toldos is madgish as zayzayin b'deim Eliyahu. When you say a child, that underscores that it's someone who's similar to the father. Miklal the obvious ikatuldas, like he said before the Lashon, a father has children. Dos is dafke sug aveda shel Yitzchak. That's dafke when it's in the way of Yitzchak's aveda. Was steht bim keimei unhebt eif boy elom lim keimei umadregosei. He remains in his own place, in his own madreg, and the world is coming up to him. So they're going to look like him. They'll be his children. Was durch dem werden sie till days. Then they're talking children, which a child is similar to the father. So Neis the Rebbe now finishes by saying, what's the practical area for us, for all types of people, side people who they're more Yisachar-dike people, Torah-dike people, Yeshvei Eyel, and side Zvulun-dike people. How both of them, what's their Hiron is in a skeach from Yitzchak's Aved. And this is the Hiron Nitzchis. From Avedis Yitzchak, this is the everlasting Hiron. From the Aved of Yitzchak, was is min rumiz and shema sedre, which is hinted in the name of this parsha, sedre, the sedre of Toldos. So the Rebbe starts with Yisachar people who are outside. Their union is to go out, like more like Avram. What's Avram type people? What's their hero from Yitzchak? Those was eichdim mori uvdin tovin. This that also people who are mori uvdin tovin, people that their main union is in Maisa and good deeds. That their constant, their regular avoid is publicizing the Eibishter by going from place to place, until this Lashem L'Tirasi, and to create children for Hashem and His Torah. This that people who are going outside primarily, again Yisachar people, nevertheless they have to come sometimes in to the inside avodah. Fully with hatera, nigle, pnimis hatera, and a different from tirasim. Not said like we said much earlier in the Sicha, that every person has to have the times when they're like Yitzchak, when they're separated from the world and learning Torah. Meint das nicht, als sie treten der mit ab chas v'sholem von sehr schliches zum mekarev sein Yidin l'Hashem l'Tirasim. A person shouldn't think, my main avodah is going out and being mekarev Yidin mefarsim alakus, and sometimes I have to go to the Beis Medrash and learn because I have to do some Yitzchak avodah. But then I'm talking about being mekarev Yidin. Says the Rebbe, no. When a Yid has to go and spend some time of Tirasi Umanasi separated from the world, he's not stopping his shlichus of affecting the world. Nor adarabbe. Das is a chilek ikri in der avodah. Acting like Yitzchak for a day, for an hour, is a chilek ikri, a very important part of my avodah of affecting the world. Because in addition to the fact, was mitzad dem was yederid hat yoves b'chinas Yitzchak shebenafshei. Aside from the fact of being that every Yid has part of Yitzchak in his nefesh, is da bei in der keach as an avede befnim zal haben a wirkung if chelke be'elam. So therefore, that includes that also as avede inside, in this time of learning Torah, should have an effect on his chelik be'elam. Keilalich if the Yidin welche zayin al pi Torah unter zayin hashpoke yitzabazeh. So aside from that, aside from the fact that even when I'm learning Torah, that will also have an effect on the world, like Yitzchak, is durch dem stellt tarif emes etildes. Dafke through that hour or that time that he's able to separate himself and be a pnim yid, a yisachar yid, a Torah yid, through that he's making that all of his avodah in the world should be in a way that he turns them into tildes, children. As Neisef as peilt if Zaydem Asher Osu, in addition to the fact that he's affecting on the world by making them into Teira Yidden, brings them under the wings of the Shechina like Avraham, Vert eich der Ian von Kilu Yolde, seine Toldos, Kayetzabe, Bedem Elav HaMashpia. In other words, Bekitza, the Rebbe is saying that a Yid who is involved more in Mefarsim Halakus in the world has to sometimes spend time by himself learning Torah, is going to create that his avodah in the world is going to be in a way that he makes the world into Toldos. A world that there's clear how they're connected and they're same madrega as the mashpia. That comes dafka through spending time on his own, not going down to the world. Similarly is the hero also to the Yeshvei El. The hero to Yeshvei El to the people who are their avodas beikar like a Yitzchak Avinu, separated from the world in Eretz Yisrael and a Yeshiva and a Beis Medrash. That their whole asik is in the 4 amas of Torah and halacha and davening. As Neisif, so here too they have a big hero. Neisif lazev was eichzei. Darfna reis gin mizman lizman von zeire daladamas. If mekarev zayin eden lashem l'tirosik kanal. In addition to the fact that even a Yeshiva, even a Torah, has to spend time going out of his Torah and dealing with the world, as we said much earlier in the Sicha, that they get from Avraham. The Rebbe says, no, it's more than that. Darf eich in zeir avede von esek ha-Torah va-tefillah sich onherren, as das ist verbunden mit Eifmachen Toldos, dem Ebersten. Der Lilmid darf sein al menas lelamid, that when he's learning, that alone has to be with understanding that this is in order to teach someone else. Was demel sein in die Toldos ves, but darf sein kenisker la'el. So even the Yeshiv El, his learning gufa he has to know is to make Taka Toldos. Like Yitzchak Avinu, that was this whole Aveda of separated from the world in Eretz Yisrael, was making Toldos and affecting the world in his special way. Through this Aveda, so Eivstel Toldos Lashem Lo Tirosi, that we're creating children for Hashem and His Torah. In dem Eifen HaAveda, was melernt, bis menemt, von Yitzchak Avinu. And this way of Aveda that we learn from and we take the Koyach from Yitzchak Avinu is Menachmer Memayer Derzman. So we even more so may quickly come the time of Yemru Yitzchak Yato Avinu. When we'll say to Yitzchak that you are our father, the time of Mashiach, like I said before, the Gula Amitis Vashlema Va'oz Yimole Schek Pinu. The Gula Amitis Vashlema, when our mouths will be filled with laughter. That's connected with Yitzchak, because the name of Yitzchak is connected with comes from laughter. Through this Aveda, the Aveda of Yitzchak, we create the ultimate tzchek of happiness and tainug pleasure l'mayla. From this laughter, from this tainug pleasure by the Eibishter, kumta arop eich lamata. It comes down also down here that oz demot. When Mashiach will come, and we have the taste that we're able to taste this union even before Mashiach comes. By Erev Shabbos, like the halacha that in Erev Shabbos we taste from the foods of Shabbos. So Mela also before the Geula we already have a taste of when Mashiach will come. To the extent that by every Yid is able to feel in a revealed way that tainug, that pleasure of the Eibishter, because the world will be filled like the nevuah, the haftocha will be when Mashiach will come. The world will be filled with the day of the knowledge of the Eibishter, like mayim layom mechasim, like the water covers the sea.